See that? That's why we don't have COVID in China. Big problems with COVID.
Absolutely. We were out in Chongqing a few months ago, and we were into some fairly rural areas, and I was gobsmacked at the extent and the quality of the highways they built to those villages. But what happens then is you get people who build businesses in those little villages, and they're able to distribute their products. We've recently been to this little village in the middle of nowhere, and they're selling their vegetables online on live streaming and distributing all over China simply because they have that infrastructure network to get that product distributed.
Yeah.
And that's shows you why building the infrastructure is so important, because it enables the commerce.
Yeah.
You know,
it's an intricate puzzle, and infrastructure is an important part of it. You know,
and at the end of the day as well, it just makes our lives so much better. Like for the end user who's trying to just get around and go to my hometown, or you know, not me, but the Chinese, go to your hometown, or you know, go and see some friends. It makes it so much more accessible, and it's so much cheaper. And even the people who aren't on a great whack of money can get around to their hometowns, you know, once or twice a year.
Yeah, that's because it's not run for profit. It's run to help the people.
Yeah,
Whereas everything in the UK is run for profit because it's all been privatised.
Yeah.
You know, a company doesn't want to open up a rail line if they're not going to make any money.
Yeah.
And then the ones that they are making money on, they just want to keep pushing the prices higher and higher. So actually, train travel in the UK has become kind of more of a thing for wealthier people, because normal working people can't afford to use trains now in the UK, you know, which is mad.
Again, trains? What are those things? Like, as an American, I mean, train travel is... In America, we have, like, Amtrak, and those trains are old, the rails are rickety. What are we traveling? We are traveling at 306 kilometers an hour at this very moment. And do we even feel it?
That, would you?
That is
you
crazy.
coffee sat on the side here without even you know.
Oh, by the way, the psycho that was sitting next to Lee Barrett is his son, Ollie Barrett. So, did you see him making faces and stuff while you were talking? Yeah, very entertaining father-son duo here. But yeah, I think that you know, you don't. I think that unless you've been to, like, Japan has a very, very good travel infrastructure.
Yeah,
very
Germany
good travel.
and France are not too bad.
Yeah,
I think China now has way more than all of those countries put together. You know, they've made that as like a mainstay of their policy to connect all the major cities by high speed rail, and they're now working on even the sort of smaller cities.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really not difficult to get from A to B at all in China on the trains. Any major city to another major city is pretty easy.
I feel like, and this might be a bit naive, but I feel like there's a lot of the hatred to China is based in jealousy.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, China's got all of this stuff and a very robust transit system. They've got no COVID. They've got a growing GDP. They've got all of these things. So there's we were talking about this earlier, and this is kind of off topic, but there's this kind of like mentality of, instead of compete, we're just gonna blame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of jealousy, I have my own theory on that, in that it's kind of like the Western governments want to keep what's really happening in China away from their population seeing it, because at some point those populations are going, well, we've been paying all this tax for all these years.
Yeah.
Where's all the money gone?
Yeah.
Why do we have such shitty infrastructure compared to China, when relatively they, you know, in the timeline, they've only been a rich nation for a very short amount of time, whereas the UK and America have been rich nations for much, much longer, but yet their infrastructure sucks compared to China. So where's all the money gone? Maybe, like you were saying earlier, it's all gone on weapons and wars.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I see, like, there's a lot of people that say that I hate America, or like, you know, and it's totally not that. I am sad. I am frustrated because America could do all of these things. Could have all of the great things that China has, but they don't, because there's all this bullshit and red tape, and they can't get their shit, and they're blaming. There's all these blaming things.